Hi, I'm Judy from New York. Please like and subscribe. I was raised by a single dad who loves me dearly. He's a successful businessman, and even though he's always busy, he makes sure to give me all the time I need. But when I first started school, I noticed that all the other kids had their moms dropping them off, and they all seemed so happy.
Dad, I want a mommy too. I want hair like these girls.
But sweetie, I can braid your hair too.
And then, when we got home, Dad tried to braid my hair, and of course, it turned out perfect. He really is amazing. Once, when I was 8, we were playing hide and seek, and I snuck into the basement and found a beautiful guitar. I asked Dad whose it was, and he said,
It's your mom's, sweetheart. She was an amazing guitarist. This was her last guitar, so I've kept it here.
But I took it to my room and started playing it on my own. Dad was amazed by my talent, and soon I started participating in school competitions. Shortly after I turned 14, Dad gave me a huge surprise. He announced that he was getting married. I was pretty excited about having a mom, and even more thrilled when I found out she had a daughter my age, Alice. But the first time Dad took us all out to dinner, Alice didn't even bother to look at me. I asked her to pass me a glass of water, but she completely ignored me. How rude! And my stepmom said to me,
Oh, honey, Alice has a hearing problem. And even though she has her hearing aids on, she likes to pretend she can't hear a thing.
Mom, I told you to keep that a secret from them. Can't you just keep one thing to yourself?
Hey, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. And we're going to be a family soon, so we don't need to keep secrets.
Oh, Judy, honey, you're so mature for your age. I'm so excited that we're going to be a family.
But Alice looked like she was ready to jump at me. My goodness, she was terrifying. On the wedding day, while we were posing for family photos, Alice suddenly stepped on my foot and I screamed. The picture ended up making me look like a screaming chimpanzee, and Alice showed it to everyone. I got along well with my stepmom, but Alice was like a demon from hell. She would scream and throw tantrums over the smallest things, and she didn't care about hurting anyone's feelings. One time, my stepmom and dad had a date, and as she walked down the stairs in her new dress, Alice screamed.
OMG, don't tell me you're wearing that. It's hideous, and you look so fat in it.
That's because I gave birth to a mean daughter like you and lost my charming figure.
I could see the sadness in her eyes. It was clear that Alice's words had really hurt her. So I quickly ran to my room and brought her a dress that suited her perfectly.
Now you look perfect. Dad won't be able to take his eyes off you tonight.
My stepmom hugged me tightly while Alice stormed off in anger. Over time, my stepmom and I grew closer. We often went shopping together, and I would spend time helping her in the kitchen.
Oh, honey, you're like the daughter I've always wanted.
And I could see the angry glare from Alice in the distance. One time, when our parents weren't home, Alice deliberately ordered spicy food. As we started eating, my throat began to burn, and I couldn't find any water. I ran around searching for it, but Alice just stood there laughing.
Look at you, running around like a mad cow. I should have added more chili to it.
You witch! You did this?
Yes, I did. That's for trying to steal my mom from me.
I jumped on her and yanked her hair, and she yanked mine. A few minutes later, our parents walked in and caught us fighting like wild monkeys.
She put chilies in my food and…
But you didn't die, did you? And Mom, look what she did to me.
That's enough, Alice. 1 week here and you've started to show your true colors. I'm so ashamed of you. Say sorry to Jane now.
What? Have you grown old and gone crazy already? I'm not saying anything to this jerk.
The next day was Alice's first day at her new school. I was in the cafeteria with my friends when I saw Alice walk in, but suddenly she slipped and fell flat on her face. A girl, known by everyone as the school bully, started giggling.
Oh God, who's this new clown in town? Do that again so I can make a video.
You found that funny, you ugly face loser?
Alice grabbed a plate of food and threw it straight into the girl's face. Suddenly, the bully and her cronies rushed at Alice, pinning her against the wall. That's when their eyes fell on Alice's hearing aid.
Look at that! You're a freak! And you dare to mock me in front of everyone, huh? How dare you call me an ugly loser?
I was really upset by the bully's actions, so I ran over and pushed the bully away.
That's enough! Leave her alone!
You really want to mess with me because of this weirdo, Jane?
Who are you calling a weirdo? Huh? It better be your mother.
After saying that, Alice shoved the bully to the ground and she started crying. All the other girls ran off to help her. Then Alice turned her anger on me, going completely berserk.
I don't need you to save me. You got it?
Wow! Is that your thank you?
No, that's my stay the heck out of my face and my business. Mom's stupid enough to fall for your little Miss Perfect act. But I just think you're trash.
She stormed off, and I didn't speak to her for days. Then, a few days later, I saw Alice hanging out with those awful bullies. But I didn't care. She had that attitude too. They were a perfect match. I was getting ready for a big art competition and was totally focused on that. But one day, while I was practicing in the art room after school, I overheard some kids talking outside.
Mrs. Susan not a teacher? She's a witch. How dare she fail all of us? We should teach her a lesson. She loves her stupid garden, right? Well, destroy her garden tonight.
Tonight? But
No buts. Alice, are you in or out? Do you want to be part of the gang or not?
cool, let's do this.
It was Alice's voice. Oh my gosh, this girl is really getting herself into trouble. With Dad and my stepmom away, I felt responsible for this idiot. That night, when she was sneaking out, I walked into her room.
Alice, I heard what you guys are planning to do. Don't do this. Those people are bad, and they're no one's friends.
Why can't you keep your stupid nose out of my business? You're just jealous that I hang out with the cool kids and you've only got your stupid guitar to keep you company. Just buzz off.
And she slammed the door right in my face. Ugh, I was so done with her. A whole night passed and she still hadn't come home. I was about to fall asleep when I suddenly got a call from Alice. She sounded terrified and begged me to come pick her up. But when I got there, she was nowhere to be found. I started to think it was some stupid prank when I heard a noise coming from the bushes.
Judy!
I found her sitting there crying and clutching her ankle.
Oh my God, what happened?
When we were destroying the garden, suddenly the alarm went off and everybody panicked and started running away. But I sprained my leg and no one wanted to help me, so I hid here in the bushes.
It's all right. I got you. Let's get you to the hospital first.
I rushed her to the hospital and got her treated.
You were right. Those people aren't my friends, and thanks for.
Thanks. I didn't know you were familiar with that word.
Look, I'm saying I'm sorry. Don't make this harder for me. And please don't tell Mom.
I promise I won't.
After that day, we actually started to get along a bit. I thought things might finally change between us. But one day during lunch, my stepmom pulled 2 tickets out of her bag and said,
Judy, sweetheart, I have a surprise for you. I'm taking you to the biggest art theater in the world in Paris. We're going to have so much fun together.
Alice snatched the ticket from her hand and went crazy. I understood why she did it.
Just the two of you. Am I invisible to you? Your own flesh and blood.
But Alice, you don't like art or traveling or anything. I've asked you so many times.
So, I shouldn't go to Paris. Will you guys go and have fun without me? This is ridiculous. I hate you.
Alice threw her plate on the ground and ran to her room, angry tears streaming down her face. She always reacted so poorly, but I felt a little bad for her too.
I think we should take her. It's Paris, and I'm sure she'd love to travel with you and me.
Stepmom reluctantly agreed and said she'd get her a ticket too. But the very next morning, I woke up to Stepmom screaming at Alice.
You brat, stay here. I just got a call from the principal. You destroyed your teacher's garden. You destroyed your teacher's garden. They recognized your face in the CCTV camera and they were going to expel you. Do you know how much I had to beg them not to? And I have to cover all the damages. Why don't you just let me live in peace for once, Alice? Why can't you just be like Judy?
Why don't you just go and enjoy your vacation with your perfect daughter? Then why waste your time on me?
Alice!
I had an amazing time, but when I returned, the biggest shock was waiting for me. I found Alice sitting in my room with a twisted smile next to my mom's guitar, shattered beyond repair. I screamed and angrily lunged at Alice as my stepmom ran in and pulled us apart.
She smashed the only guitar my mom left behind. They were the last thing I had left of Mom. How could you be so heartless? Alice?
Your mom's guitar? I thought they were yours. I didn't know.
Alice, why would you be so awful? Sometimes I just can't believe you're my daughter.
Oh, you can't believe that now you're the one who made me so crazy. I used to be everything to you, and now Judy's your perfect daughter. Why? Is it because of my hearing impairment? I'm not good enough now? Because you've found someone better to love?
It's not like that. I've tried and tried so much with you, but nothing seems to work. You've always made me feel like you don't even like me. At least Judy made me feel worth something.
And you decided to make me feel worthless. You think you're some saint, but you're actually a horrible mother.
She shoved my stepmom to the ground and ran out of the room.
God, you're just out of control.
My stepmom sat on the floor, crying, and Alice looked confused, as if she had just realized what she had done. She just walked away and locked herself in her room. That night, when Dad came home, I told him everything that had happened, and he went to talk to Alice. 2 days later, Dad told us that Alice had agreed to go to therapy, and she quietly left without saying goodbye to anyone. I wanted to see her right away. After all, we had lived together for a long time, but she refused to meet me. So I focused on my studies and worked hard to earn a scholarship at a prestigious art school in Paris. A few days before I was set to leave, there was a knock on my door. I was shocked to see Alice standing there with a package.
Before you start screaming at me, here's something for you. Just open it, please.
I hesitantly took it from her, and as I tore off the paper, tears filled my eyes. It was a guitar signed by my mom.
How? Where did you get this?
Your dad helped me track down the person who bought this guitar, and I used all my savings to get it back. I just felt so terrible about what I did. I know this doesn't make up for everything, but I had to try. I'm working on myself, and I'm fixing my relationship with Mom. And I wanted to start fixing things with you too, Judy. If you can forgive me.
Alice, this guitar means the world to me, so thank you. And yeah, I think it will take us some time to be okay, but we can start today. Friends?
Friends?